Howdy, and welcome to Saturday's edition of Today's Bread. Now, we're currently in a series called Messages of the New Testament. Now, this week we went over the last word, and today's portion is reigning with Christ. Scripture reference is Revelation chapter 22, verses 3 through 5. Now, in this future day, the curse and all consequences of the fall are removed. That's verse 3. This includes the curse of Genesis chapter 3, verses 17 through 19. Fruitless toil and unrewarding or disappointing labor. The Lamb, Jesus, will reside in the city, and all residents will serve him with great joy. Now, the word translated serve has the connotation of worship. Throughout all eternity, the residents of the New Jerusalem will worship and serve Christ. Verse 4 declares that believers will see Christ's face and will have his name on our foreheads. The name of Christ on the foreheads of his followers signifies ownership. Christians belong to him and bear that mark of ownership. This should be understood to be in contrast to another mark given to people in the book of Revelation. The Antichrist will also require his mark on the foreheads of his servants. That's Revelation chapter 13, 16, I believe. Just as those who take the Antichrist mark will give him ownership of their lives, so the followers of the true Christ bear his mark. And those who belong to Christ will reside in the New Jerusalem and reign with him. That's verse 5 of chapter 22. Christians are children of God and joint heirs with Jesus Christ. Romans 8:17. Even though believers cannot comprehend the full meaning of this reality, we can rejoice in anticipation of all that God has in store for us. That's 1 John chapter 3, verses 1 through 3. Now, John saw this expectation of glory as motivation that changes our whole lifestyle. And every man, it says, and every man that has this hope in him purifies himself, even as he, God, is pure. Verse 3. Now, because we belong to Jesus, we share in his glorious inheritance. We have a blessed hope, one that can never be corrupted or fade away. God has chosen to bless us with the most wonderful spiritual blessings through Christ. Dedicating ourselves to boldly proclaim the gospel to a perishing world is one of the most important ways we can reflect the priority of God's eternal kingdom. So share your faith with others. Thank you, and I pray that you've enjoyed today's edition of Fresh Daily Bread. I want to invite you to come be a part of God's family. Saturday's prayer focus is for spiritual renewal. Pray for a deeper desire to know Jesus and experience the power of his Spirit in your life. Now, Living the Way will be broadcast at 4:15. There will either be a live at 5 service or a previously recorded power service with Tommy Fisher broadcast at 5 p.m. Now remember, Jesus is coming back soon. Here's Saturday's blessing. I bless you with understanding deep in your heart that God will always provide a safe place for you, a place of refuge.